People who watch Fox News were shocked and worried when they heard that one of the network's most famous and respected people is fighting a cancer that could kill them. Eric Shah, a professional anchor who has been with Fox News since the beginning, said that a job as a reporter may have changed his life forever. Worryingly, Sean's story isn't the only one. He's not the only well-known Fox News host who has been given a fatal diagnosis by Eric Shah. Fox News senior reporter and veteran anchor Eric Shah has told us something shocking that makes us think of one of the worst times in American history. Sean has been an important part of Fox News since its beginning in 1996 and is known for covering major national and international events. During a live broadcast honoring the 24th anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attacks, he said that he has been diagnosed with cancer that was caused by toxic exposure from Ground Zero. He did this story from Lower Manhattan, the same place where he covered the attack's aftermath, while reporters, first responders, and recovery workers struggled with the wreckage and its aftermath. Sean is now in his late 60s, and he has said that he is fighting a disease that will kill him. He talked about how he first got lung problems, like asthma, after breathing in the dust and fumes that covered Lower Manhattan in the days and weeks after the Twin Towers fell. When he learned he had cancer, it was the worst news he could have had. Many doctors think it was because of the contact. Not only Sean, but also thousands of other survivors and first rescuers are still dealing with health problems that started a long time after the crisis. What's happening with Sean is part of a much bigger problem with public health right now. Tens of thousands of people who were exposed to the toxic waste from 9/11s have since said they got cancer or other illnesses as a result. When Sean told them about his health problem, he said that he had been under the World Trade Center Health Program. This is a federal program that helps people with health problems linked to 9/11s by monitoring, caring for, and treating them. He said that this music program covered 2 different illnesses, which shows how complicated his deadly diagnosis is now. But Sean says he is lucky compared to the other first responders and victims who died that day. He says they were much worse off and died much sooner. Sean's comments remind us of how the attacks will affect people for a long time. He talked about the almost 3,000 people who died on September 11th, and the thousands more who got sick from breathing in toxic dust and smoke. But Eric Sean isn't the only well-liked Fox News host who has been given a terminal illness. A shocking disease has sent another well-known news presenter to the hospital, making fans sit on the edge of their seats. John Roberts, anchor for Fox News and co-host of America Reports, John Roberts has been in the middle of an unexpected and serious health fight since he was diagnosed with a severe case of malaria, an illness spread by mosquitoes that can be fatal. The 68-year-old newscaster, who is known for delivering the afternoon news to millions of people and hosting major events for Fox News Channel, said earlier this year that he was sick and had to stay in the hospital and not do his normal work. Roberts' health scare began soon after she got back from a 2-week family trip to Indonesia, where malaria is common. After coming back to the United States, he started to feel very sick within about 10 days. What began as tiredness and aching muscles quickly turned into shaking uncontrollably during a show. At first, Roberts thought he had the flu, but when the pain and other symptoms got worse, he went to the hospital. Platelets and white blood cells levels in his blood were dangerously low, and a rheumatologist told him to go to the emergency room. On August 25th, doctors there finally diagnosed him with malaria. In the U.S., malaria is not common. It is a dangerous disease that can be deadly if not treated quickly. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say that about 2,000 cases are identified each year in the U.S. because of travel to areas that have the disease. Roberts told the audience how bad his symptoms were, saying that the illness made him feel worse than any other disease he had ever had. This shows how quickly malaria can make even the healthy people sick. At that time he couldn't host America Reports, so Sandra Smith and Trace Gallagher, another Fox News reporter, filled in while Roberts focused on getting better and going to treatment. It was on social media that he thanked his co-workers and the medical teams. Another Fox News anchor recently told the world that she has had a dangerous illness for years while she was sick with malaria. Janet Dean. Janice Dean has been a senior meteorologist and host of Fox and Friends on Fox News for a long time. She has been dealing with a major and ongoing health problem that has forced her to step away from the network and focus on getting better. She said that she has known for years that she has a disease that will kill her. Dean started working for Fox News in 2004 and has been a regular on the morning show for more than 20 years. However, she recently announced that she will be taking an indefinite break from her on-air duties and her online profile because of health problems that need rest and time to heal. The world then learned that Dean has had a long-term illness for more than 20 years. She has multiple sclerosis, an autoimmune disease that affects the central nervous system that lasts for a long time. Dean was diagnosed with MS in 2005, not long after starting to work for Fox News. He had been feeling tired all the time and had some strange nerve symptoms that doctors thought were related to the condition. When she first learned she had the disease, she was shocked. She had to face all the unknowns that came with it, especially since it would affect her job and future. In interviews, she said that she was afraid of the problems that the disease would cause, but she made the hard choice to keep working anyway. Multiple sclerosis is hard to predict because it can range from being mild to being very bad. It's not possible to cure it, and treatments can only ease the symptoms and slow the disease's growth. Dean gets regular IV infusions to help with her flare-ups, and she is a voice for other people living with MS. She brings attention to MS, which is sometimes called the invisible illness. She has made it clear that MS has changed the way she thinks about life, family, and health, even though it can be painful and unexpected. Dean thanked her co-workers at Fox News and her fans for their support and said she would return to the network as soon as her health would allow it. A Fox contributor is also dealing with a shocking news after giving birth. Tim the cat. This was a shocking and deeply personal health problem for Cat Tim, who was a contributor to Fox News and co-host of the late-night comedy show Goodfeld. She found out she had breast cancer just hours before giving birth to her first child. Many people were shocked when Tim told them that she had been told by doctors about 15 hours before she went into labor that she had stage 0 breast cancer. This is the earliest and most treatable form of the disease. Finding out they have cancer right before giving birth was a shock. No one gets that news. The news came at an amazing time. Tim was a week past her due date and was completely focused on getting ready for her son to come when her doctor told her the news that would change her life forever. Even though she was shocked, she and her medical team moved quickly to talk about treatment choices. The doctor told them that a double mastectomy would be the best next step. She had to make meetings and talk about her cancer treatment. Later that night, she went into labor on her own. Even though he was shocked and upset, Tim found funny ways to connect with her care team. She joked with the nurses about what the news of her birth and cancer might look like. She freely admitted that it wasn't a nice day, but she was thankful that the cancer was found as soon as possible and that her baby boy arrived safely. As she started the next part of her life as a mother and went through treatment for cancer, Tim was excited about both. At the same time, another Fox News anchor and her husband Shannon Bream have been given a shocking news. Shannon Bream, a well-known Fox News reporter and host of Fox News Sunday, has said that she has been having a lot of health problems and family problems. Bream has been Fox's main anchor for about 20 years and is now their top legal correspondent. But you won't believe that she was dealing with her own health problems at the same time that she was helping her husband deal with a diagnosis that would change his life. Before Bream became famous on Fox News Sunday, she had a terrible time with painful eye pain that she couldn't explain. It made it hard for her to sleep and do normal things. She had severe pain, regular migraines, and episodes of double vision that made her desperate for hours for almost 2 years. Initial visits to doctors didn't help much, and many of them even told her she wasn't hurting physically because it was all in her head. Her health problem was so bad for her that she even thought about committing suicide because of the pain. It was especially bad because she didn't know what was wrong with her. Later, Bream saw an expert who told her she had a type of chronic corneal erosion and a dystrophy that went along with it. The condition can't be cured, but it can be controlled with the right care, and it gives people who have been frustrated for years peace and hope. In addition to Bream's own health problems, his family had also been through some very bad health problems. Before they got married in the mid-1990s, her husband, Sheldon Bream, was in his 20s and was told he had a brain tumor the size of a golf ball. He had some strange signs for months before this was found. Thankfully, the growth that was taken out didn't hurt him, but the surgery took 9 hours. But there were still problems, like facial paralysis and a long recovery process that put his physical strength and the couple's mental strength to the test. Bream thought back to how the event had changed their relationship and even their plans to get married. It eventually made their relationship stronger and changed how she thought about faith. During her time on Fox News, Bream has found a mix between her work duties and her personal life, especially her journey through pain. Meanwhile, another Fox News host is dealing with terrible news. His son was told he has a disease that will kill him. Bret Baier. Bret Baier is a veteran Fox News anchor, host of the show Special Report with Bret Baier, and the network's top political correspondent. He has also dealt with serious family problems while working as a journalist. Baier has been showing people the most important political events in the country for almost 20 years, but his son Paul has had heart trouble since birth, which may be the most shocking story. When Paul came into the world, the chances were against him. That's when doctors found that his heart had 5 different birth flaws, a complicated mix of structural issues that made it work against itself. Paul had his first open heart surgery just a few days after he was born. It was a major procedure that saved his life. Although he was still a child, he had many open heart surgeries and catheter-based treatments during his teen years. Aneurysms the size of golf balls were found near Paul's heart during what seemed like a regular checkup for a cold in 2024. This was another dramatic turn in the Baier family's life. It would have been very bad if this artery had burst. Doctors told Paul, who was a teenager at the time, that he needed surgery right away. He had to have an emergency open heart surgery that took 10 hours. The surgery, which went well, was his 5th major procedure, and one of the scariest parts of their long radical trip. Baier has talked about his son's story, and said that besides medical problems, the family learned a lot about being thankful, having a positive outlook, and being normal. Paul has kept up with school, sports, and normal teen life, even though he has been in and out of the hospital and had surgeries over the years. In 2025, Paul is finally getting better and is looking forward to going to college. At the same time, another Fox News host is also having a hard time with multiple sclerosis, Mr. Jerry Willis. Jerry Willis, a longtime journalist and veteran Fox Business Network anchor, faced one of the hardest fights of her life when she was told in April 2016 that she had stage 3 breast cancer. Willis is known for her sharp reporting on consumer and personal finance issues and for being the host of the Willis Report, but she was busy with a demanding job when she first noticed something was wrong with her health. When she went to the doctor because she thought she was having some strange symptoms, she learned that the disease was worse than she thought. In the end, this made the trip through surgery and treatment very hard. When Willis got the news, it came as a surprise because things in his life had been going just fine. Her breast cancer was lobular, a less common type that can be hard to find with regular mammograms. It was clear right away that she would need strong treatment. Over the next few months, Willis had a mastectomy on her right breast and then 4 months of intense treatment. She even took some of the strongest drugs used to treat cancer and then did radiation therapy every day for a few weeks. She took a long medical leave from Fox Business during this time to focus on her health and recovery, telling fans that she would be back. As her hair grew back, she wore a wig when she went back on the air. She also showed off her new hairstyle in one of her shows, which was a big step in her recovery. Willis has been very open about her battle with cancer, including the physical and emotional struggles she faced. She uses her fame to push other women to get regular mammograms and be careful about their breast health. Many people related to Willis's honesty about her cancer story, including how hard it was to lose her hair during chemotherapy and how hard the treatment was on her body. By late 2017, Willis had finished her treatment and had surgery to rebuild her body. Doctors said there was no sign of cancer, so she could go back to work. Her experience not only made her stronger, but it also made her a strong supporter of early diagnosis and health screening, stressing that knowledge and prompt medical care can make a huge difference. Another piece of bad news is that one of the Fox News analysts died just now. Thank you, Dr. Kelly Powers. Fox News and Fox Business contributor and medical commentator, Dr. Kelly Powers died on December 1, 2024 at the age of 45 after a brave and long fight with one of the most aggressive types of cancer. Powers was well known to TV fans because she talked about health, wellness, and medical problems Americans face on shows like Red A, Fox and Friends, and The Willis Report. Powers' health problems really began in July 2020, when she had a seizure that led doctors to tell her she had glioblasto, a type of brain cancer that is very severe and hard to treat. In the years after being diagnosed, she had 3 surgeries on her brain and many rounds of radiation therapy, chemotherapy, and immunotherapy. These treatments put the cancer into remission. The cancer did come back though and killed her in 2024. Her journey was marked by amazing strength and endurance. Powers fought cancer, but she also had to deal with other serious health problems. As early as when she was first speaking out in public, she had a heart attack live on Fox Business while talking about heart health signs in women. That event seemed strange, and it showed how dedicated she was to teaching medicine even though she was having her own health problems. Many people related to Powers' story because she was a credible professional and told a real human story. During a time when her illness was getting better, she had her son Bennett in 2021. Even though she was sick at the time, she often thought of this event with thanks. In this sad case, a popular Fox News host died after being given a fatal diagnosis. Also, it came out that another Fox News expert was losing his son Brit Hume in another way. Brit Hume has been a major figure in political commentary and journalism for a long time. He is the longtime top political analyst for Fox News Channel and used to host the show Special Report with Brit Hume. He was one of the most admired people on the network because of how calmly he spoke and how sharply he thought. He seems calm in public, but he has a very personal story of loss that changed his life and faith. Alexander Sandy Hume, Jr., Hume's son, and a bright reporter for The Hill, killed himself in February 1998 when he was 28 years old. It was a tragedy that left Hume and his family in deep grief. A lot of people in the journalism world heard about the death, and afterward, the National Press Club created the Sandy Hume Memorial Award for Excellence in Political Journalism in honor of his son. At that point, Hume was already a well-known newscaster. He had joined Fox News in 1996 as executive editor for Washington and quickly rose to become the host of the Special Report show. However, the terrible loss of his son made him think deeply about his faith, which strengthened it. Hume was raised in the Episcopal Church and had always thought of himself as a Christian, but he said that his faith was pretty shallow before the tragedy. Later, in conversations, he talked about how the shock of Sandy's death made him think about pain, meaning, and faith. This made faith a bigger part of his life than it had been before. When asked to talk about that hard time, Hume said that he was kept going by his faith in God and the support he got from coworkers, fans, and even strangers across the country. During those weeks of sadness, he said he saw God in the kindness of different people, and that experience made him more determined than ever to live out his Christian faith in a way that goes beyond ethnic identification. Many people love these Fox News reporters for how they talk and report the news, but things haven't always been easy in their lives. On top of that, they have to deal with shocking illnesses and findings, no matter if it's them or someone they care about. Which one of these diagnoses, from cancer to MS, shocked you the most? Type your ideas in the box below. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.